My name is Elizabeth Falkner, and this is Citizen Cake in San Francisco. I started Citizen Cake in 1997. When we first opened over in South of Market, it was a little teeny bakery, and then when we came over here, we're close to the symphony and opera and ballet, so we really needed to serve lunch and dinner, and we serve a great brunch here, and then we have all the pastries to go as well. I would say that I like to do a lot of food, whether it's savory or sweet, that does cross over. I think we're definitely in an era right now where you do see some herbs or some vegetables or savory ingredients incorporated into pastry. And then the sweet stuff always does exist in savory food. It's just not been analyzed a lot. But like, for example, if you have in a fine dining restaurant, if you have a foie gras course, it's often served with something quite sweet and acidic. So oftentimes it's just a fruit accompaniment. And same, like a lot of Asian food does have a lot of sweeter components, which is why they're not heavy on desserts at the end of a meal. So it's, I think, just really looking at a lot of different cuisines and influences and really kind of dissecting what we like about them and turning up the volume on certain sweet or savory or salty or fatty things. I'm kind of a deconstructivist, so I like to see something that is classical but kind of remodeled for our palates today. But a really good example would be like our steak with ice cream, or sometimes we'll have like a fried chicken kind of thing with an ice cream, savory ice cream. And that might be like blue cheese, with like almost like a buffalo wing reinterpreted thing, or like, if you think about like prime rib, it's often served with a chilled horseradish cream sauce. But to me, that's like, why not make the sauce frozen? So we like to just play around with that kind of stuff. And we can get away with it here too because of the name Citizen Cake. I mean, where else can you have steak a la mode? And then same in the dessert stuff or in the patisserie, we'll have something that maybe is a vinaigrette on a dessert, or something like corn ice cream with salt. And it's not something that you always think about, but when you have it, it's really takes you out of that, and it's really fun, and people really do like it a lot. I like to do something that's grounded in some kind of tradition. I mean, I didn't just randomly start cooking. I worked in other kitchens where, I got a lot of that sort of European backbone from working at a restaurant called Massa's under Julian Serrano, and it's very traditional and European style kitchen, and a lot of intensity and super fine dining. And then I used to work for Tracy Desjardins for a while, same kind of French backbone. I feel like I know what people want to have, so I want to give them that. But then I want to take them on a little bit of a journey, or a little twist, or a little nuance, or something that's just maybe got a little bit more of our stamp on it. A classic combination that's really popular at another restaurant here is just the simple combination of Parmesan cheese, celery, and dates. And we like to do that in almost like a salad appetizer. So we do like a fennel celery salad, Parmesan cream, some dates that are cooked with a little bit of Madeira wine, and then celery sorbet. Eventually, all mediums kind of do relate to each other in some ways. Sometimes when I'm cooking with other people, like on a line or doing a big party or something, it feels like we're playing music. I feel like we're playing like a jazz jam session or something. Like everybody's just, it's very theatrical. I feel like a restaurant is very theatrical. You've got the front of the house and the back of the house, and orders coming in and having to get it there and doing it really well. It's like putting on a show all the time. So that, for me, and yes, sculptural, yes, architectural, and how the space is, it all kind of comes together in a restaurant experience. And certainly, I mean, when I first started cooking, I have a very artistic background and family, and I just find the compositions very, very sculptural, and also just, really close to people. I mean, it's the combination of being artistic and nurturing at the same time, and. I eat food too, just to eat, and sometimes it's not such an artistic expression. But I think a lot of people enjoy food first with their eyes and then with the stomach. I think we find ingredients, whether it's just some new herb or something that you've just not really seen that varietal, or like I'm thinking about. I haven't really seen bronze fennel like I'm seeing it right now in the market. Just a darker, it's more of a wild varietal. But I guess it's being more cultivated now, so seeing that. And there's an herb that I like a lot called lovage that it's been around, and I even came across a recipe in one of Alice Waters' cookbooks recently where she was using it in a hamburger. And she's like, oh, I love this flavor. And I'm like, oh, that's so funny. I have never read that recipe, but maybe several years ago, I kind of came across that and really loved that flavor of lovage, which is like a really rich celery kind of flavor. So I love like discovering, just a new ingredient, or like we're all, we play with a lot of the different gelling agents and gums here and there, not in everything, but it's just fun. Why not play around with the different textures and spices and flavors that are out there? The farmers even, they'll be, cross-pollinating something like, you're like, well, I've never really seen a fig exactly like that. And they're like, oh, well, we decided to use the black mission with the Adriatic, and we came up with something that's a little bit different. And, or maybe it's just a seed, an heirloom seed that they came around. Just all I'm thinking about now is all the stuff that's coming. Like strawberries are finally starting to get really good. The other berries are, really tasty now already. I had some Fraise du Bois yesterday. Those are the little wild strawberries. And yeah, it's exciting every year because, you come back to different seasons too. We're doing what's seasonal and local too, so it's just kind of depending on what people are, what the weather's like and what people are in the mood for. Because of the weather here, it'll be like really beautiful and sunny, and then it'll be fog rolling in cold, and you're like, oh, I need some, this morning I want a gazpacho, but tonight I'm going to want some, like a warm soup, So I think I think that's kind of a challenge of being here too, is that it's not, the seasons aren't that different. There's almost like an industrial passion about industrial products that a lot of culinary chefs have. Meaning, like, I think that now, especially when we talk about like food TV, and you see like the shows where they show the candy factories and stuff. And I know that I have a dish at Orson that has Pop Rocks in a savory dish. It's like a Parmesan pudding with piquillo peppers and cocoa nibs and Pop Rocks and salt and olive oil. And it's great because it's not sweet. It's like a savory cheese whiz meets Pop Rocks kind of thing, But it's like really high quality, really tasty stuff. But it makes people just feel like a kid again. So it's like, I mean, especially in the dessert stuff, I've always been able to sort of throw that, here you're a kid again. That's just what dessert is about. And then if I think about all of the cocktails that people like to drink right now, they're all like kind of tart and sweet, like a lot of acid. And that makes me think, okay, that's because everybody grew up eating like Sour Patch Kids and all those like really tart candies. And there's something about that that's nostalgic, and that's what I mean by it's got some kind of foundation. And if that's just because everybody's grown up on industrial fast food, that's what it is, But it's like, I know restaurants have done like little, Twinkie kind of things, and little, like a Snickers bars. That's had a huge impact on all of our palates, whether we like it or not. But people will always go for the thing that's got chocolate and caramel and salted nuts, And so that's just interesting to me. I think we're definitely being influenced by a lot of the industrial food stuff from the 60s, 70s, and 80s right now. Even like there's a huge, the cupcakes it's not a dying trend, it's still growing. It's like becoming the new Krispy Kreme thing. And it's because of all that nostalgia, and then also it's nostalgic, but also where can we take it today? Like all of our cupcakes have some kind of injection and some over-the-top frosting thing going on, and like we have a Rocky Road one that's just really decadent because it's got chunks of homemade marshmallow and walnuts in the frosting and then dipped in chocolate. So I don't know. It's just interesting. I think whether people realize it or not, people like sliders a lot. Like little hamburgers in nicer restaurants. So it's just what people like to eat. Pizza and sliders and Twinkies and Pop Rocks. Maybe I'll do peanut butter ice cream rolled in salted Spanish peanuts, and then do like some kind of milk chocolatey malted nougat flavored mousse. And then maybe I would do like shards of caramelized sugar instead of caramel sauce, with some extra salt in it, because I always think it needs a little bit more salt. The candy bar. Even just like a few little grains of salt, or there's vanilla salt now, and there's like smoked salt, and any of those would be really kind of interesting next to that too. And then like make it a bittersweet chocolate thing, like a flourless chocolate cake, but cut up into little, or just maybe like crumbs on the plate. And so I would still have the chocolate, the peanuts, the caramel, and the nougat, but totally different version. even like a little spice. Espelette is a nice chili that's kind of sweet, but then has a little teeny bit of a kick.
What's it called?
Espelette, it's from the Basque region, and just a nice chili. I mean, there's so many different kinds of chilies that would work. It's not about trying to make a weird combination. It's about trying to do something that you can relate to, but still give you a different experience with it.